All right, guys, welcome back to Jigsaw-Jams Productions. Just a quick update for today. We're heading out to a gentleman's house. He called me up, found me on the internet, and basically purchased a bunch of old vintage PA equipment from an auction. He doesn't really even know what he's got. I don't know what he's got, but he asked me if I could come kind of sort it out, hook it up, and get it working for him. And I said, yeah, sure, let's go take a look at it. So we'll keep you guys updated on how this day goes, and we'll see what we get into. Thank you.
This could be us. So back to what I was saying. Could be us.
How you guys doing here? Jason Ward with Jigsaw-Jams Productions. Just a real quick recap on what's going on here. A gentleman contacted me, said he picked up a bunch of vintage professional equipment, didn't really know how to hook it up or what was valuable and what wasn't valuable out of the stuff. Called me to come over here to see if I could take a look at it and get it running for him. So let's kind of take a little bit of a tour on what we got going on here. So we do have a rack here that we kind of reorganized this a little bit. We got 3 crown amplifiers. The one crown amplifier, only one channel of this amp works. These 2 amps down here work fine. They could probably use a very good thorough cleaning. They're very filthy. We have a PV crossover that does work. We have an American DJ dual disc player with a controller that does work. We've got a Atlas EQ here. It's a 32 band EQ. This does work. We do have a BBE processor. I did not try this yet. We're just trying to get things dialed in. Then we have 2 Furman power conditioners. These are actually very good power conditioners. Up here, we have an American Audio. It's like a DJ kind of mixer thing. So we're gonna have all of our signals coming into this, and this is how you can control the volume. And here's our American DJ controller for the CD. He wants to get an FM tuner hooked into this so he can just listen to some basic radio on here. So this is the rack of what's going on here. With the speakers, we'll come all the way down here. With the speakers here, we've got the old school EV eliminators. These are actually phenomenal speakers back in the day. And even today, the drivers and the stuff that's in the components that are in these speakers are very, very good speakers. They sound great, especially when you get them balanced, EQ'd right. They're very nice speakers. So he kind of hit the jackpot with these old eliminators. He's got 4 of these. The only problem is that these came out of an old vintage building that was, I don't know if it was an old club or what they did there, but back in the day, there was no protection on amplifiers. There was no protection in the speakers. And the woofers play fine, but all 4 of the horns drivers are blown out. So we've got no high frequencies coming through here. It's an easy fix. We can just put new diaphragms in them or get new horns to go on the lenses, and that will sound good. So that's what we got going on now. We did finally get everything wired with what we had. We got everything hooked up. We do have the 2 tops working in stereo mode, and then for now we have the 2 subs running parallel together, so it's actually running at a 2 ohm load with the subs, because the one amplifier that's a 2,000 watt amp, only one channel that's working. So I wanted the biggest amplifier that he had here powering the subwoofers, and right now it actually sounds as good as it can minus the horns. So we've got it dialed in, we got it EQ'd, sounding the best we can without that. We're trying to tear apart some of the other eliminator speakers to find out if we do have at least 1 or 2 horns that do work. If they do, we'll swap them out and put the horns in these cabinets here, and then we'll re-EQ it, and hopefully it'll sound better. So just a little recap on what's going on. Thank you guys. All right, guys, we just got back. The guy had some nice gear for when it was in his time frame. the old Crown amplifiers, some really good EV eliminator speakers, some decent equipment, but this is some old gear. It was pretty abused. The amps had a lot of dust and a lot of grime on them, but we was able to hook it up, get it working. He had a few Crown amplifiers, a crossover, an equalizer, a DJ mixer that we were able to, get at least some CDs hooked up. And he wanted the tuner hooked up, but he had just a regular lower budgeted home receiver that didn't have a direct output for to go into this type of a system. We'd have to run through the main speaker hookups and then somehow run that through a system to tone that signal down, run that in the system. It's unorthodox to do it that way. I told him we could kind of monkey it together and make it work like that, but that's not really how I run. I said we would be better off finding a good old school vintage, just a straight up tuner if he wants to listen to the radio. Then we would hook that into us. So we'll do a little bit of investigating on that. But yeah, it all went pretty well, pretty old stuff, but hey, you know what? This stuff still rocks and rolls and it sounded really good. Thank you guys for tuning in.